Hey everyone, so this is part 2 of our HCS training guides. This one's going to target your orders, how to put in ancillary orders and medication orders upon admission, or should orders, if you get a verbal order from the physician. Most of you guys are doing this pretty well. I'm trying to get these videos out as fast as possible for everybody, so I do apologize for that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to jump right in. So this is the admission that we were working on in the first video. We've already done the home med list and admission. That's in a separate video if you need to go back and refer to that. Patient gets to the unit, you need your ancillary orders. Come here to add favorite. Physician admission orders is the very first one that you need. Click on that. And we just select everything that we need for this patient. We do know that we need to do a TB skin test, so you would check that. If your patient is wanting to quit smoking, that's here. PRN medications, you do have to select them. I will ask about having them automatically selected, and then you can just go in and take the ones you don't need. So those you would select, you don't have to touch these. If your patient is on F1, you do need to put in the medical bed, okay? Those are medical beds on F1. They do need an order for that. So just F1. Vital signs, BID on our adults. He's not going to be a diabetic. We don't need to worry about height, weight. Please make sure you're selecting a diet. This is how we replace the mobility sheets on the unit. You have to select the diet, you have to put an order in, and the kitchen gets a printout about 3 times a day. They have it set. They get a printout of any new orders and diets. That is going to replace the mobility sheet so that we don't have to do that anymore. So I really need you guys to make sure you're not skipping over this. Next, we have if we were doing labs. We're not doing labs currently, so I'm going to unselect them just for the purposes of this class. We are doing flu consent, so you want to check that. You shouldn't need to touch anything under your new admits. That's everything that you need to do. And then daily and ongoing, we're doing the suicide screening, a suicide ideation severity assessment, or the CSSR. That's the Columbia that we were doing on the back of the nursing notes. That's due for every patient. Environmental safety checklist, and then family education is only done upon admission. If you're a fall risk, go ahead and pick this now. Cottage F1, F2. Fall risk assessment is supposed to be done twice a shift. Please make sure you're adding that. Right now, we're having to go back in and add it later. Once you check those, add checked orders to patient. Pick your physician who's ordering the order and press OK. Patients must have allergies before entering orders. Okay, so let me come back here. I'm going to add penicillin again. Drug allergy reaction. I'm just going to put itching and save. So come back to my ancillary orders, add a favorite, physician orders, check them all over again, which ones we need. Admitting orders, he's not going to be an F patient. He's not on blood sugars. I do have my diet checked. I'm going to uncheck my lab ones just for the purposes of this class, like I stated, and then consent for a flu vaccine. Add checked orders to patients. You guys are pretty familiar with this. Anything in yellow has to be addressed, okay? Come at the top. We're not worried about medications. Those are already on here, so that's our meds right there. Level of care, patient is inpatient. 1013. Precautions. I'm going to put my patient on suicide and I'll say assault, right? Maybe they scored high on admission, and we're going to start him on a Q10, full participation until we hear otherwise. This is very important, okay? So regular diet for the purposes of training, and when they first get here, restricted to the cottage. So you want to make sure you check that. That is how the kitchen knows who to send trays for and what trays to send. When your patients upgrade after just 2 or 3 days, you want to come back in and change that then to dining room, and they'll get a printout of that. All of our assessments that are due, I'm going to hit OK. Please confirm that you have read back all the medications we have. It wants me to make sure that this is correct. I'm going to say OK. Again, just showing me one more time that this is correct on the patient. I'm going to hit close, and it's going to want me to do that for every single one. Just hit OK. Close these reports. Okay. Close. Okay. We're almost there. And it's tedious. I understand. Boom. We're done. So now I have admission orders. I have precautions. My techs know what precautions they're on, and they also know that they are on Q10-minute observations. Everything is done. As the admitting nurse, do not hit verify. This is the problem we're hitting on night shift. I can verify this medication by clicking the U. I'm gonna show you one more time. Click the little U here, and I'm gonna verify it. Now that order is verified. But you only wanna do that for non-med orders, okay? Do not verify anything that's medication. So I can come here and I can verify. I'm verifying that his precautions are whatever they are. I'm verifying his diet, vital signs, and all the way down. Medication orders, do not verify. If you are the admitting nurse, there's only 3 places to verify, okay? So there is the initial person who writes the order, either a nurse or a doctor, the person who verifies the order, the nurse, and then pharmacy. So when you write the order and you verify, you've taken 2 of those placeholders, meaning that the only person left to verify is pharmacy. This is the problem that we're running into on night shift, is we're verifying meds in 2 places, and then you're not able to administer the medication because it's waiting for pharmacy. So don't verify your meds. If it's after hours, whatever the case may be, another nurse has to verify them. So for me, as the nurse admitting this patient, I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna wait. Obviously, I work day shift, so the pharmacy will verify it and we're good to go. If you're on the weekend, after hours, or you need to give this medication immediately, your second nurse needs to log in, come to this patient, and they will hit the U and they will verify it. See, this one doesn't even give me the option for me to do it myself. They will hit the U and then they will verify it, and then you will be able to administer it when you come to the MAR. Okay, so that's the problem we're running with anything that is a medication. So here we go. See, I hit the U, it wants me to verify. If I verify it, I won't be able to administer it. Then it's gonna tell me, what was that? Oh, that was the consent. So let me do the medication. So this is Tylenol, not verified by nursing. I can't verify because I'm a person that put the order in. Kind of confusing, a little, you know, it's just a double check. It's just a double check to make sure you put your order in correctly. So another nurse would log in, they would come to my patient, they would click the U and they would hit the verify button. Once that's done, you're free to administer the medication, okay? That's the problem we're hitting. So remember, after hours, it's 3 placeholders. The person who writes the order, nursing, and pharmacy. You don't want to take up 2 places, okay? Amy cannot take up 2. We're working through the kinks. Please make sure you let me know if you have any questions about this specific, but this is how you put orders into the system. I am going to show you now if we needed to put in different orders. Come to your medication orders. Let's say we also want to add, you know, anything, Haldol. You start writing the name, you find which one it is. We're gonna say 1 milligram. He's gonna take this by mouth and we're gonna do twice a day. Indication would be psychosis. And then you press okay. It's gonna tell you we want to make sure that we do labs for any sort of antipsychotic medications. We hit okay. Do you wanna create a now order? No, because it's currently 2 o'clock and the medication's not due until 9 p.m. So I'm going to hit no. Or maybe the doctor orders first dose now, and then that's fine. Again, this is for the dispense, a dispense message saying that, are you sure you really want to do this? We're going to hit okay. It gets sent to pharmacy. Again, making sure that we get informed consent before we administer. There's 2 different ways that you can get consent. You can do it here per each medication as you're ordering them, or we can also do it a different way, which I will show you. So here we'll document consent. Patient gave me consent. Maybe it was clinically emergent, the guardian, we don't have spouse usually, but patient gave me consent, I'm gonna hit okay. So now that medication is there. As you can see here, it still has the U because it needs to be verified by the pharmacy. If I come to my MAR, and I'm gonna look for my Haldol, which is gonna be due tonight. It says here, also I have my U, it won't let me verify. It must be verified before administering. So a second nurse has to come in and do that verification. Okay, so that's kind of the problem we're hitting right now on the units. Documentation of consent, you can also click here. If there's medication that do not have consent, check that consent button and it'll say which medications have consent and which ones do not have consent. Okay, I will show you guys in another video how to get consent upon admission. The form is the same form that we used on paper. If you want to discontinue a medication, same as we would discontinue an ancillary order, you would check on it and you would discontinue. Check the U and press discontinue, and then it'll put a line through it, and that means it is no longer ordered. Your ancillary orders, same. If we wanted to change his vital signs, now that we have verified it, I want to discontinue it, or maybe I want to update it to once a day. So I can change this, sorry, to daily at 6 a.m. and it gave me an error, but you would click daily at 6 a.m. and then hit OK, and it'll make, yes, it gave me an error, so I'm gonna press cancel, but you would save your order that way and then you're done. If you have questions about this, again, please reach out to me or one of the supervisors, and I will start working on what we would do after this, okay? So remember, 3 placeholders for verifying medication: the person who enters the order, the nurse, and pharmacy. Do not take up 2 of those placeholders. You will not be able to administer the meds, and then we got to do a whole workaround and things like that. That's all I have for this one.